What's going on, everybody? Welcome to GmiasWorld, and many of you guys have been asking about a scheme offensively to kind of help you get those wins, weekend league, head-to-head, and things of that nature. For those of you guys that don't know, I've been playing Madden for a very, very long time. I used to do competitive Madden like way back in the day. I think the last time that I did it, Brett Favre was on the cover when he was like a Jet, but then he was a Viking. I don't know what it was, but I've played it as the years have turned. The gameplay has also changed, and I choose not to, compete on that type of level anymore. But, I'm still a pretty good player. MUT Champions last week was the first week. I played, I think, 24 games, and I won 19. I'll show you guys pretty much what happened. I played 24, I won 19. I had one disconnect that I was probably going to win, and the other games, dudes just took care of me accordingly. Like, it was wild, but not blowouts or anything, but they were able to do things that they successfully was able to accomplish, even with the kind of schemes that I was trying to run. With the way that Madden is right now, obviously you should know that for the most part, I'm having issues with my middle linebackers or my right outside linebackers picking anything off. Like, I have some clips I'm going to be tweeting out at GmiasWorld later. So if you're watching this video, please go ahead and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You'll be able to see those videos where my linebacker is just right there. It's not like he's throwing it in the middle, in between the numbers. It's like in the flat, and they just will not jump. So something's going on there, but that's just one of the things that I wanted to point out. I do play the game, pretty regularly, and I understand certain concepts with it. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to the solo battles, and I'm going to kind of give you guys some insight on the hardest level, walk you through what schemes you should actually be running and how you should be utilizing your personnel. Regardless of how good your team is, you should be able to run certain things that your opponent should have difficulty stopping. So the first thing that I'm going to ask everyone to do that's watching the video, you're going to go over to your team strategy, and you're going to change your playbooks. You're going to run the Raiders offense, and you're going to run the Lions defense. Well, this video is not going to be about defense. It's going to be primarily on offense, but I'm running the Raiders offense. I run a couple other offensive playbooks. Arizona, I think the Steelers. I've been kind of dabbling with those, but those are stuff that I run when I'm not streaming. When I stream, I play with the Raiders offense. So I'm going to be showing you guys some of the things that can help you get yourself to the next level. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to play. We're going to go to solo battles, all right? And we're going to go ahead and try to see what's going on with the hardest. What is this? Your rewards pending review. Bruh, look, listen, bro. I don't care about my review. So they suspended solo battles. All right, so now that kind of changed. Oh, yeah, they did write that out, that they're suspending it because dudes were running around just DC glitching and going wild. But with the disconnects as well, for both head-to-head and also for this situation right here with the solo battles. So if you were somebody that got disconnected a lot, they're trying to hold off with giving out rewards, but I did get my solo battle rewards from last week. But I think with MUT Champions, they're going to be holding off to kind of see, what was going on with it. So because that's the situation, what we're going to do is we'll just go to a challenge. We'll go to a challenge where it's a full game, and we'll just put it to the hardest difficulty, and we'll go through it with that. What do we have? I know Theme Builders are full games. The Legends also are full games. All right, so what Legend solo should we do on the hardest level? Okay, so we'll do Bruce Matthews. Now we're going to go all the way over to hard, and then you're going to see that it goes to all pro and competitive. Pretty much what happens is the computer cheats a lot, regardless of what you're doing. It doesn't really matter. But these solos are good to have because, obviously you get a free version of the Legend that you can power up to a different level if you choose to. If you can't afford to actually get the full card, it is good to kind of, get a version of the card if it's going to have better numbers than the actual cards that you have right now on your team. So we'll use this as an example. Remember, I lab my offense and my defense against the CPU. All right, just so you guys want to know, should you do it on a human opponent? What happens is if you play the CPU on the hardest difficulty and it's competitive, regardless if it's solo battles, these missions, or whatever else you're doing, because the computer cheats, more than likely if it works against them, it will work against a human opponent. I have not labbed one snap with a human opponent at all this entire year. Everything that I've run against the CPU on the hardest difficulty to kind of gauge what I'm doing. All right, so pretty much we're going to try to do all the bonuses and everything else in this game as well, but I'm going to introduce you to one of my schemes that I run regularly, and I run it very, very seamlessly against man, zone. It doesn't really matter, what's going on. This offensive scheme will help you win a lot more games. It actually frustrates opponents a lot running it, all right? So this is what we're going to do. Some of you guys asked a lot of the questions about the coaching adjustments. So let's go ahead and tackle that really quickly. A lot of you guys want to run around on conservative because you don't fumble as much. Okay, some of you guys go aggressive because you get a higher chance of fake outs, but it's an increased chance of fumbles. And some of you guys have been complaining heavily about the fumbles. For me, I don't really care if they patch fumbles or not. I fumbled 6 times in one game. I was raging, but I was getting hit sticked, and that's a human element of the game. So I don't care if they patch it or not. That's fine with the fumbles, because I gotta just start falling down on the ground, dog. Like, if I want to run into hit sticks and think I'm not gonna fumble, that's on me. All right. But for the most part, I never do conservative unless it's the end of the game and I just got a turnover and I want to make sure that I'm not going to fumble. Usually I just stay balanced all game. Blocking, you can use it on aggressive when you're by the goal line, maybe like 5 yards out. If you just need to get that extra heavy run block, that will help you run the ball directly in. I wouldn't use it too much with passing because they're usually going to call it with passes. But if you had to absolutely get like 5 yards, I would give it a go with a dive and just go on aggressive and just make your opponent just go raging. All right, with the deep catching, if you go conservative, you know, it's always going to, trigger these attempts. I don't like playing with these unless it's absolutely necessary. For instance, if you got a tall receiver like a Michael Thomas and you want to throw the ball deep every single play like a lot of guys were doing in weekend league against me, aggressive would be key. Balance helps you to kind of choose your own way. So if you want to go rat catch, you leave it on conservative if you want to. You know what I'm saying? If that's all you're going to do. If you're only going to go aggressive catch, you leave it on aggressive. But if you want to have full control of whether you are racking or you're aggressive catching, I would just stay balanced. The intermediate, same thing. Okay? You're going to attempt possession catches or you're going to go aggressive and attempt rack and aggressive. But I like to have full control. So I usually leave all of these on balance. Unless I'm in the red zone and I really need that 5 yards, bro, I will go aggressive and give it a shot that they won't call me for holding. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go to formation, you're going to go to single back, you're going to go to doubles off close, all right? And what you're going to do is you're going to set your audibles and you're going to put dive in as one of your audibles. Everything else you can just leave the same right now as far as switch. All right, because switch is going to be one of the key plays that we're going to use. But obviously, at this point, you should know with audibles on the go, you simply press L2, go to the play, and then pick the icon and put the play in your actual audible. You do that every time you start a new game. It does not save, unfortunately, from game to game. You have to do that yourself. All right. Now, this particular formation has a lot of glitchy stuff in it, but I use this every single game that I play at some point. Most of you guys have seen me run it. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to start off with the halfback dive. I'm going to come out. I'm going to look at the line. Now, looking at this defense with the way the corners are off, it could be cover 2. They could be masking it with a, cover 4 show 2. It doesn't really matter. You have several different ways of running this. Right now, you see the direction is to the right. You can take it to the left or right, which is why it's ideal for a dive in Madden 20. All right? You can motion your slot receiver or you don't have to. We're going to take it with different attempts to kind of see what's going on with it and see which way we should actually go. So I'm going to leave it the way that it is. I'm going to watch it. I read it. I go back left. All right? Now, look, this is the situation about run stick, right? When you're running the ball and the dive is set to one side, the dives are unique. Like you can go either way. So when you look at the instant replay, I just want to show you guys because I'm not going to stop it for each thing. You guys can easily pause the video and see what I'm doing. If you see what happens, you see the way right here, like is that my center? Yeah, that's my center. My center goes, he starts to block the D tackle and then he goes out in front to help with the dive. Now, if you look at Marcus Allen, that's you, obviously, you got to read it. So because everything is like so crowded over there, yeah, I could have gone and took it this way. But this guy right here, I saw that he was free. This guy over here, I saw he was coming free. So I chose to go the other way. Could I have maneuvered around him? Yes. But that depends on the way you want to run the ball. Whichever way you guys want to do it, that's fine. I don't really have an issue with if I was going to go that way and take that seam because he went too deep. But I chose to cut it back because I have that option. That's one of the things that really, really frustrates your opponent. When you take it the wrong way or the opposite way, especially like on inside zones with the shotgun plays, when you can just go either way, especially with the draws as well, it frustrates your opponent because the CPU is already attacking one way and you just cut it back the other way. Obviously, I see that and, the guy's getting blocked. So I could have done like evasive and juked and went for 6, but that's not what this is about. This is just about understanding the dive format of it. Now, with the passing aspect of it, the wheel routes in Switch is what's absolutely insane, okay? whether they're running man, and you can see there's a cover 9 showing too, so it's like, you know, similar cover 2, cover 4 show 2, all those things, you can see it by the way the corners are off. So look, switch, the wheel routes is what makes this so difficult to guard, because right here, this looks like a cover 3 of somewhat. So let's go ahead and look at that inside, what Torrey Holt is doing, and then you also see Kelsey on the wheel route. You got a purple, and you got Tyreek Hill going on the streak, so you got so many things. Remember, you can always take that. That's what really makes this play very, very difficult to stop, because something is always open. You can take the streak way deep, you can take the wheel route, you can take the blue route. It's so many different things you can do out of this one scheme. And primarily what you know, the things that I do with it, I have the stretch, which I'm going to show you now, which is like the third part of the mini scheme. I got the stretch, I have the dive, and then I have the switch. You know, there are other things with the jet sweep and stuff like that if you wanted to, you know, get fancy, but I don't really like to get too fancy with it. The stick play is good for the red zone if you wanted to like high point and stuff like that. But this play right here, the stretch RPO alert screen, a lot of you guys already know the RPO is a major part of the offense. So you have to be able to look and make a read early on whether you're going to run or pass. Now, he stayed there, okay, but I knew the blocking was going to be there. So because that play is designed like that, usually you're going to get decent blocking, just to show you that this is something you can mix in as well. These variety of plays, it will make your opponent start ripping their hair out. And you guys have seen me live on stream already cause 20 to 25 rage quits. Now, when you run the ball with stretch, stretch is OP, no matter what stretch you use. So just keep that in mind. You can run that stretch play, you can run the RPO, and you can audible to dive. So look, I come out with the stretch, I see that they're open up the middle, I go to dive. They give me spacing to the left, that's also good. I can motion my inside slot receiver to help out the left tackle. And I can run the ball straight up the middle. Because everybody's gonna, if you play a human opponent, what happens was that when you do that, when you motion the player, right, and you saw that was a man blitz, just so you know, and remember, we're on the hardest difficulty, so the CPU is trying to cheat me regardless, right? When you motion OBJ, you see the way he stops short? You can wait until he gets closer to take away that end. If you want to do it like that, the reason that I stopped it short is because you see how he goes and gets the guy behind him, and then my left tackle immediately gets the end? That works out the way that I want it. This is one of the most, this formation is very, very ill because it's not completely tight, but you can make them play like they're tight. You see what I'm saying? Because I already know that's going to work because I've labbed this. I've done it against human opponents. That receiver is always going to take the other guy out. So he takes him out. I can easily go inside to the left, but I see the middle is wide open, so I take that. And then obviously I could do evasive, juke, do all the other good stuff, and get even more yards. But I'm not trying to get as many yards as possible. I'm trying to give you guys the mini scheme so that you guys can go and lab the same thing, and then you'll be able to see that everything is open with this one formation will open your eyes up, open your world. It will frustrate your opponent beyond belief. Guaranteed. Like I'm telling you right now, you guys should be racking up rage quits. Like realistically speaking, because it's such an easy scheme to run. And this is what I've been running for all the games that I've played thus far. So now that you got a gist of everything that's going on, we can just come out and do whatever we want. So now, based on the way that that is rotating, we know we're going to have single coverage. Like somebody's going to be single, so we'll switch to play. And because that guy just rotated, he might be trying to blitz. So I'll just hot route my running back to block, and then I'll see what's open off the rip. All right, you see the wheel route? Okay, the computer played it, they swatted it, whatever like that. Usually that doesn't happen, but because you're playing the CPU on the hardest difficulty, they will cheat you like that and make a linebacker with no awareness swat that ball. Just so you know that. The wheel route usually beats the man because once they go upfield, it's over. It's a wrap. But again, this is why I lab on the hardest difficulty, because the computer will always cheat. So now we need 2 yards. Say you're in this situation in a real game. You would go over just to make sure, you motion your guy over, get the most out of it, go ahead. Same thing. Run it straight up the middle, whatever it is. And then you can do whatever you want with it. You know, it is what it is. These are the things that make this formation so difficult to stop. And when I run solo battles, I do the same offense. Like it's pretty much, you know, it's unstoppable. The CPU can't do nothing with it. Nobody understands what's going on with it. It is what it is. All right. So all of those plays that I just showed you, you can go ahead and rewind the video and watch the way that all the blocking works, the way that everything is open. You pretty much saw cover 9, you saw the cover 3 out of the Sam blitz with the wide edge blitz, you saw man-to-man, you saw everything. The computer hit us with everything that one drive, which is another reason why I urge you guys to play the CPU on this harder difficulty and then go into a game and try the same exact thing. What you'll notice is you'll be able to play human opponents a lot easier than you will be able to deal with the CPU. The CPU cheats beyond belief, dog. They are outrageous with it. It's disgusting what they are able to do. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand that. Hold on, I got to put Clowney there. I'm going to put Garrett over there, and then we're going to put Adams there. All right, let's go. Oh, I wasn't supposed to be doing this. I'm not going to run my actual defense. I'm going to run CPU defense. So we're going to go over to double A gap. Okay, nickel double A gap. We're going to put in, okay, Adams is going to go there. All right, hold on, put this guy. Lawrence Taylor's going to go there. We're going to put Von Miller there. Myles Garrett there. And we're going to put Lance Joseph there. I want to put Jadeveon Clough. Okay, I want to put Jadeveon Clough. Did they give it to me? Nope, they didn't give it to me. All right, let me run off sides. Oh, they won't let me? Let me run off sides, bro. I'm off sides. Like, what the? Yo, they really don't want you to go off sides, bruh. All right, let me go back. I just want to make sure that I have the right personnel for what I'm running. Remember, this is the way that I set my defense up. You can look to put your fastest players in certain positions, and then you want to put some strong guys that have decent speed inside here to come down with the double A gap, all right? If you guys are going after Mutt Master, you can also insert Pat Tillman into that section. Now, we're going to be running mid-blitz. Pretty much what you're going to do is not do anything, but just take the player that's guarding the running back and just watch what he does, all right? Your whole job is to make sure that that running back does not catch a pass, and that's it. That's all you have to do. That's pretty much the defense. Now, as far as defensive scheme goes, I got a lot of things that I run out of 3-4 that I've been labbing, that I run regularly, but just for the purposes of, you know, beating solo battles, beating other things like that, this video is primarily for the offensive scheme part of the game, all right? Defensively, you know, I may give you guys some schemes with it to kind of run, but you don't really need to do much with, you know, beating the CPU. This is, you don't got to crash nobody out. You don't got to do anything. You just got to sit there and just wait for the running back to do whatever he's going to do and let your guys do whatever they want, all right? Regardless of the level of your team. Now, you can do things like move the guys around, move them in if you want to. That's all up to you, all right? Now, you see the way they play man aggressively and stuff like that? That's the same exact way that they'll play it against a human opponent. But for the most part, your human opponents will recognize man if they are, you know, skilled players, and they'll run out routes instead of those curls. Because the curl route, the man players will come back up and make plays. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much something I wanted to point out as well. Just be very, very careful about route concepts and understanding the defense that's being put in front of you. Not everything is going to work against everything. All right, so let's run back. We know we got some things we got to do. And then I'm going to show you really quickly, you know, how you should come out now. Now that you know everything that works within doubles off close, you should be able to come out and just do whatever you want. So we'll come out, even though we know we have switch in our audibles, we'll just come out in it. Now, this looks like 2-man under or a cover 2. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We're going to still run the same exact switch play with both wheel routes and have some streaks. Now, that guy came down. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. And that's Tyreek Hill. That's a wrap. You see what I'm saying? That's why this, I'm telling you right now, just go out there and lab it. Let me know what you think about it. All right? Write it in the comments. Let me know if you guys understand the whole concept, if there's something else that you need to understand about it. But it's a very, very easy scheme to run, and it has so many routes that are open. Not only that, if you're getting blitzed a lot, you have the dive, and you can also block your tight end close and get yourself more time and block the running back and send out 3 routes, and you can still be pretty good running this scheme. All right, so that's our first scheme for Madden 20. If you guys want more, you guys got to start liking the video. At 500 likes, I'll know that you guys really enjoyed it and you want more. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love.